this morning. What's up, everybody? It is Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. This is your daily, and I repeat, daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. Now, before we get to anything, can I just say this? Can you imagine today not having a show? Can you imagine a brand that doesn't do it every single day when you look at the last 48 hours of our lives? We're in New Orleans watching Nate Diaz brawl in an arena and on Bourbon Street. 24 hours later, Gervonta Davis, tip of the cap, gets it done against Ryan Garcia. Major League Baseball getting it done. NHL playoffs. What? NBA playoffs. A whole bunch of higher seeds are behind. It's so much. But today, after yesterday, let's quickly take a look at that. It was kind of a ho-hum day. Danny Brasco, again, though, coming strong with his straight picks, 2 and 1. But that was yesterday. So on a Sunday, when everybody else is sleeping in or watching us to see how it's done, I bring in my absolute very best. Ladies and gentlemen, we start live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level he named this show. M Squared, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday brunch out there. You know, it's my favorite day. We got day baseball. Let's go.
You're damn right. Now, next, he is live. Oh, from South Florida. He is the counselor of cash, and he's a lawyer that works on Sundays. Oh, Mr. Sia Nejad. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I love how you led the show. We have so much to look forward to, so many sports to look forward to. We got the NFL draft next week, and I'm not even sure I really care about that because we've got the NHL, we've got the NBA, MLB, a lot to do right now.
You're damn right. And I'm so happy to see a TV behind our next man and not traffic, because yesterday doing work from his car live from Nashville, Tennessee, but 8 floors below, sort of. He's our 5-tool player. AB, good morning.
Coach, good morning. Good morning to everyone in the Early Edge crew. Yeah, yesterday, coming live from inside a marathon and people throwing water cups at my car, you thought that we'd at least have some karma to not go 0-2 on the show. But you know what? Like you said, Coach, we're not going to worry about it. We're happy to just be in a structure today. So there we go.
All right. And you know I'm all about stories. I love to tell stories. I also love to say thank you. And last night, I was being a dad. Everything was going on. The Lakers, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. We had other playoffs, and I was stuck. No, I shouldn't say stuck, because I love my daughter very much. I was at Fiddler on the Roof, and I'm thinking, how do I get updates? And this man came through. I think that moving forward, we need to make this a tradition. PropStarz live from parts unknown. Good morning, sir.
Coach, good morning. AB, Mikey, Sia. I am super fired up. 4 more games of NBA action. Great slate of baseball action. I have to say, this might be my favorite early edge crew of all time right here, guys.
Oh, damn. Look at that. Oh, the 5 wide. Now, here's where we're going to get started. We got a lot to do today, and you guys have been asking for it. So we've decided we're going to do it on days that have a lot of updates and on days that have a lot of games spread out. So I'm going to come for the first weather report of the year. But this is a true story, Mikey. I went to lunch in New Orleans on Friday afternoon. Waiter walks up to the table. On my kids, this happened. Doesn't even say hello. He says, Coach, oh, my God, give me a lock of the day. First thing he says, give me a lock of the day. Do you know what I gave him, Mikey? I said, Blue Jays, team total, over 4. Didn't even blink an eye. And I said, but if you win, you've got to tweet at us and you've got to tag us. And he did, because your play came through for the waiter in the French Quarter. I told you we're everywhere. Let's go.
Love it. All right, we're going to look at the weather report here today. You know what? It's not an exciting day in terms of weather. Typically, when I give these weather reports, we want to look for the spots that are really strong hitting environments where we're going to see more offense. People love to bet overs. It's a lot more fun, right? Today, we have a bunch of negatives and one real positive. We'll start with one of the negatives here. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, projecting minus 15% on home run hitting, minus 10% run scoring. For the positive today, Toronto, New York, plus 10% home run hitting and run scoring across the board. Winds will be blowing out at Yankee Stadium today. Miami, Cleveland, been an ugly series all week for them, minus 20% home run and run scoring. Same thing in Washington, Minnesota, minus 20% home run, minus 20% run scoring, dodging rain, dodging snow. Been an ugly, ugly weekend there. Dodgers still at Wrigley Field, minus 10% here, Across the board, there might be some delays. They may delay the start of this game and play it a little later. And then I lied. There is one slight other positive. It's New York Mets, San Francisco Giants. Anytime you get a day game out there in San Francisco, you typically see a little bit of a bump over the baseline for that park. That's what we've got today. About a 10% increase in home run hitting and run scoring out there.
I hope you had your paper and your pen like I did. I'm telling you right now, if you didn't, trust and believe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you'll understand how important the last 2 minutes is to your Major League Baseball betting and to the show. Mikey, well done. Thank you very much. Now, it's time to get to the marquee matchups of the day, because on a Sunday, my goodness, the NBA spreads it out. The old days of having games happen at the same time, they're about over. So at 1 p.m. Eastern, the first game today is the Cavs and the Knicks. I would love for everybody to participate in this. So are we fading or following the favorites today? That's the game we're going to play, and we're going to keep it moving. Knicks are laying 2.5, a very low total, 206.5, but the under has been coming in this series the last couple of games. So, Sia Nejad, let's start us out. Are you fading or following the Knicks to take a 3-1 lead?
Yeah, I got to be honest. It feels like a square play to take the Knicks, but I'm going to take the Knicks minus 2.5. If you recall the last game against the Cavs, I had the Knicks as well, and I believe it was minus 1.5. Actually, that was on the Friday Big Pick Energy. Chip Patterson, that was one of his official picks, and he just talked about a lot of things, but including, Madison Square Garden and the atmosphere. And we saw that atmosphere just 2 nights ago. Obviously, we're going to see the same. I think this is the Knicks game. Cleveland will get the next one, and then we'll see what happens down the stretch of the series. But give me the Knicks minus 2.5.
All right, we got one for the Knicks. Mikey, talk to me.
Yeah, I like the Knicks here as well. I prefer them on the money line still, as long as you're getting minus 135 or better at this point. Home court advantage matters in basketball more than any other sport, really, in the NBA as far as professional sports. So I like the spot for them. They've actually rebounded the basketball incredibly well, which is not something we necessarily projected against Cleveland, but it's been happening, and it looks like Cleveland's final month of the season is really carried over in terms of rebounding. So give me the Knicks.
No doubt about it. To Mikey's point, if you've never played in a basketball game on the road, whether college or NBA, I have. It's like playing against a boulder and you're pushing it up a mountain. There's no energy for you because there's no crowd for you. So it's very, very difficult to perform well on the road. That's the reason. Mikey, thank you. AB, I'm coming to you. We've got 2 Knicks so far. What say you?
Going Cavs, baby. You know what? Defense travels. Yeah. I don't think the Cavs are worried at all about the Knicks. Look, Allen Houston's not walking through that door, son. Give me the Cavs here.
All right, so that's 1 for the Cavs, 2 for the Knicks. Now we talk about the mean streets. I tell you what, Proppy, after what I saw Friday night in the streets of New Orleans, we may have to reassess when we say that. But for the here and the now, what are the streets telling you?
Yeah, I'm going with my guy AB here. I'm also on the Cavs. Listen, I just think neither of these teams have a ton of playoff experience. Donovan Mitchell does, however, and I believe that he can lead the Cavs to a victory. I just don't see them going down 3-1. I know they're not a great road team. The Knicks aren't particularly a great home team, though. And I just feel like he can get it done, and they'll get by and win a close, ugly, low-scoring game.
Fascinating that you guys would go against the counselor and M squared. Fascinating. Noted. By the way, Chris in the chat says, morning early edge fam. What a crew. Let's get a fella educate and entertain. Let's get it, fellas. I can't even read today. But Chris, thank you for the note. By the way, if you haven't hit that like button, can you do that for me, please? Take the chat down, hit the like button, put it right back up, and just keep on talking. Game number 2, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time today. 3 of these series today are 2-1. 1 is 3-0. This one is 2-1. The Kings, the 3 seed, they're up. Warriors 7.5. They get Draymond Green back. The total is 237. Counselor, are we fading or following this number? It feels like it's in that sweet spot of yuck.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the 7.5, I can't believe it's this high. I wanted to really be on the Warriors here. I truly did. For me, it's going to end up being a stay away, but if I have to lean one way or the other, I'm going to give the Kings enough credit to cover this line.
Mikey.
I'm going to lean on the Warriors side once again. They're just a different team at home. And we talked about home court advantages. The swing for Sacramento, playing in their building with that energy going here, it still is. It's such a different environment there. But Steph Curry, I love him the way he plays at home here. So lean the Warriors way. Going to play him in the third quarter, minus 1.5 though.
Okay, there you go. How about a little extra bonus there if you listen? You listen to what he said? AB, talk to me.
Oh, I'm going heavy on the Warriors today, and I'm going to tell you why here in just a little bit with one of my picks, but I believe that Golden State, after that win in Game 3 at home, Game 4, buddy, you thought that one was tough? Yeah, Sacktown, I love you, but today ain't your day.
It's going to be an uphill battle, Proppy. What say you?
I'm going with the Kings. 8 points is just too many points, in my opinion. De'Aaron Fox is playing at an MVP caliber level right now. If he can get contributions from the other guys, Sabonis can step up. Malik Monk can score off the bench again. Trey Lyles, there's a lot of weapons on this Kings team. I think they can hang. I definitely think 8 points is a lot, so give me the Kings.
It really is. And I think that's why the sportsbooks took this game to this point. They want this type of dissension. That way, the books want equal amounts bet on both sides. That's what they want. And they might get it today with this number. All right, game number 3, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. Celtics -6.5. They just lost game 3 in Atlanta. Total 232. Mikey, let's start with you this time. Celtics up 2-1. Are we fading or following them to go up 3-1?
I think they go up 3-1. I think the Celtics win this game. As far as covering the spread, it's always difficult here in this particular spot. Look, the Hawks played well in the last game. They came out really hot shooting. It's difficult to replicate that here. Boston's still the better team. So I'm going to be on the Boston side. Don't love the 6.5. That's right about where I make the game. But if I had to play it, that's the side I'd be on.
Sia.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to take the Celtics, the Hawks here at 6.5. I think it's too many points. I was the guy who said just 2 days ago, Celtics are the far superior team. I still believe that, but in Atlanta, 6.5 points, I think at least perhaps a backdoor cover is in play. I do think the Celtics will control the game for the most part in terms of, being up 5 to 7 to 8 points, but I think the Hawks end up covering this one.
Jake in the chat thinks it's Celtics first half. Maybe they cover 3.5, Jason says. Interesting thought from the chat. AB, thoughts from you?
Well, just about to say the same thing. Celtics first half, 3.5. That is the play. Look, so Boston threw up a ton of threes. And you know what? They lost, right? I'm taking Boston here. I love Boston here. And they're going to do it defensively and choke out like a boa constrictor to the Hawks. Give it themselves, boy.
Yeah, and Rebecca, she agrees with you too. Rebecca's in the chat. Hey, Rebecca, she's back. All right, Proppy, bring it home.
Yeah, I think Mikey and AB hit the nail on the head here. I like Boston here. I like their defense to step up. Mike alluded to Atlanta making a lot of very difficult shots in Game 3. I think that's going to be hard to replicate. Really like the way that the Celtics are defending the Hawks pick and roll. I will talk about that at length when we get to our picks, but give me the Celtics here.
All right, and one more game. We have a team that has a chance to close it out tonight. The Nuggets up 3-0 in Minnesota. Will the Timberwolves, all that young talent, will they have professional pride and come out and play hard? I think they will. I like the total in this one, though, because there's not going to be any pressure on either side. It's 225, but the spread is 3.5. Mikey, let me come to you. Are we fading or following the Nuggets to cover, get it done, and move on to the second round?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Nuggets side here. I think they close it out as quickly as they possibly can here. I do expect a really inspired effort from Anthony Edwards individually here in this game, but I think the Nuggets are going to be too much. I think the Wolves are close. I think that they're still a fine team. I don't think the Nuggets are a great team, but I think they understand the importance of getting some additional rest, and closing this one out now would be a huge deal for them.
And Tyler agrees with you. He says Nuggets cover for the sweep in the chat. Sia, do you agree with Tyler and Mikey?
So it wasn't an official play, but last time these two teams played, I did like the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I think I like them again. I mean, I like what Anthony Edwards said, but in terms of, hey, we're going all out, you got to get to 4 first, not 3. I don't know that that's going to affect this game necessarily. It might affect him individually, but I do think the Timberwolves are good enough to steal a game, and I expect them to do it. So this would be the one for them to steal.
Taylor says, Nugs, baby. That sounds like something AB would say. AB?
Well, I was going to say, look, there's one rule in my house, and that's we don't fade chicken nuggets and we don't fade Denver Nuggets. I'm rolling with the Nuggets here. The Timberwolves are done. Season's over. Go have fun. 10,000 lakes. Minnesota's a great state. It's all over, buddy.
Go throw your rod and reel in. Take it into the offseason. Proppy.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is playing phenomenal basketball right now. I've been very impressed. I think he is definitely ascending to stardom. However, the rest of this Timberwolves team, just so many spacing issues when we have Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns on the floor at the same time. Karl Anthony Towns just playing out of control. Doesn't really give you much on defense either. I just don't trust them. As far as the Nuggets are concerned, they play like a team and they have a lot of scoring power. Give me the Nuggets.
All right, so we got a lot of interesting decisions. And what do we tell you all the time here at the Early Edge? Use the information and make the decision for yourself. 4 incredible minds, 4 different takes on 4 different games. There you go. Now, let's pick the prop before we get to our plays for the day, because I want to know who's going to hit a home run today. Who are we going to cash at plus money? Here are our choices. We're going big boys. I'm talking Aaron Judge plus 180. I'm talking Mike Trout plus 220. I'm talking Byron Buxton plus 255. M squared coming to you. And again, listen to the information. Start us off.
Oh, this one's tough. It's a coin flip for me between Judge and Trout. Better environment for Judge. I'm going to go Trout, though. I like the matchup against Jordan Lyles. Look, Lyles, 32 years old at this point. We're lucky to hit 91 on a fastball that we're also throwing 45% of the time. Look, it's Mike Trout here for me.
All right. Proppy, everybody in the chat is going to tail you because of your T-shirt. What's your T-shirt, and who are we picking?
Keanu.
Devil's Advocate, great little late 90s flick, Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino. But yeah, we got to go Mike Trout for a number of reasons. First and foremost, Mike mentioned the matchup against Jordan Lyles. He gave up 26 home runs last year. And most importantly, Mike Trout has just exceptional taste in his sports teams, being a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, huge Philadelphia Phillies fan, big Flyers fan, just across the board. So got to go with Mike Trout, who just has exquisite taste, Coach.
By the way, who is that sitting behind you?
The one and only Goose.
That is the Goose. And many of you in the chat have already noticed, you know how much our pets mean to us here at the Early Edge. They're our mascots, for God's sake. So I need you to write, every single one of you, and some of you have already done it, Get Well Freya, Freya, our good friend Buckets, put out on social media yesterday, didn't have the best news from the vet, but going to be able to live, going to have a little bit of a limp, but we'll take care of Freya right here in the Early Edge universe. So let's come to you, see it, because I know you love the pets like everybody else. Talk to me.
That's right. And I will tell you, Jordan Lyles will be in the market for a neck brace after this game because he's going to be looking at some exit velocity coming from Mike Trout. So I'm going to be on that bandwagon. Plus 220. I'll take it.
All right. AB, where are you going?
Well, I'll tell you what, I went to the Social Security office today to get a second Social Security number to bet as many times on Aaron Judge as possible today. I believe that the Yankees – look, this game is going to be – Mike hit on it earlier. There are so many opportunities for runs today on both sides. Yeah, give me Judge.
You're either going to have a really good day, AB, or you're going to have a really
or
bad
horrible.
day.
Well, let me say this. It can't be worse than yesterday, so let's go.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, you know you can get way more of us than right here on the Early Edge. My entire crew. Proppy's getting ready to do a little NBA playoff action. Where? Here.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reactions.
The largest final round comeback in tour championship history. We're down to the final 4.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
So many of you in the chat. Get well, Freya. I love it. I absolutely love it. Proppy, do you have your next appearance on HQ scheduled yet?
Not yet, but you know, the big dog's got to eat, Coach, so it'll be soon.
The big dog's got to eat. You're damn right. So let's get into it. It's Sunday brunch. It's Sunday morning, so you know who goes first. And today, I told you what happened on Friday. We're going to do it again today. Mikey, start us off.
Yes, Coach, we are running it back with the Toronto Blue Jays team total here. It's a friendly matchup. It's one that's familiar if you've watched the show a little bit. Clark Schmidt on the mound. We picked on him in his last start against the Angels. We're going to do it again here. Look, he's started 4 games this year. 3.1, 4 and 3.1 innings is all he has lasted. 2 starts at Yankee Stadium, already allowed 3 home runs there. Love this spot, though, for the Blue Jays. The only concern that we ever have with the Blue Jays on a Sunday is they do like to rest star players. It does matter a little bit. However, still like the spot. So one thing Schmidt does, first of all, he wouldn't be starting if it weren't for injuries in that rotation. So let's keep that in mind for sure. But what he does is he relies heavily on pitches with movement. Not good when you've got an environment where the hitters are actually seeing the pitch as well. He's throwing the sweeper 35% of the time, the cutter 25% of the time, the curveball 21%, and the sinker 20%. All of these pitches are sitting between 86 and 92 miles per hour, very, very comfortable, but he's incredibly predictable. He's tipping pitches already. I think you might even see reports about that coming out after his fourth or fifth start coming up here. But look, he's thrown this cutter 73 times. 67 of those have been to left-handed batters. It's very, very predictable to know what you're getting from Schmidt here. I mentioned in the weather report, it's a great spot overall for Toronto in this particular spot. Guaranteed ninth inning team at bat. You know all the drills on this one. Toronto, we're looking for that fifth run before the game ends.
You know all the drills on this one. Patrick in the chat said it best. Is there anything better than being educated and entertained by M Squared? No. By the way, Zach says, hey, Mikey, do you like Schmidt under 4.5 Ks?
I don't mind it. I think it's probably hits. The thing that we get into, though, with teams like this, when they're hunting aggressive pitchers, they can be over-aggressive at the plate. When they know that certain pitches are coming, they tend to be a little more aggressive. But, yes, I think that he probably ends with 4. I do not see him lasting past 4 innings in this game.
And you're giving the big thumbs up there, Proppy, yes?
Yeah, my model had a sizable edge on him under 4.5 strikeouts. I think Mike hit the nail on his head. Swinging strike percentage way down this season. So I think he's due for some strikeout regression, actually, and a great spot to fade him.
There you go. Zach, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, very important question for Proppy. I'm coming to you next. Very important question. Are you going to put a suit coat over the heavy metal T-shirts when you go on HQ?
I will be dressed to impress. I will leave it at that. But Sia and I have been talking a lot behind the scenes. He may or may not be in some sort of advisory role as far as my appearance on HQ. So I'll just leave it at that.
That is probably the smart play. Come to the counselor. He'll set you straight. Now, in the meantime, you guys can work on your fashion on the side. I need to know where I'm going today. You're up.
Let's go. Yeah, we're going to the hardwood, coach. We're going Trae Young under 33.5 combined points and assists. I'll explain why I prefer to attack this combo line. Listen, the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young, they run pick and roll as much as any team in the NBA. He is one of the most dynamic players out of the pick and roll, one of the most successful. Nearly half of his 26 points per game are generated through the pick and roll. Boston has deployed a very effective drop coverage to mitigate the Hawks pick and roll. It's been very effective outside of game 3. The reason it's been so effective is they have Al Horford, who to no one's surprise is one of the best drop coverage defenders in the NBA. They also have a bevy of guards, Derek White, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, who are very good at fighting through screens, also going underneath screens. What they're doing is they're taking away the two things that Trae wants to do out of the pick and roll. What he wants to do is attack the middle of the court and attack the lane, and then if that's taken away, he can throw lobs to his bigs. Boston, again, has done a fantastic job at defending this. What they're doing is they're forcing him to then shoot step-back threes. And we saw in game 3, he got hot. He's capable of scoring from behind the perimeter, but I can live with those shots. Boston can live with those shots. And being a career 33% shooter from behind the arc, Boston will take their chances. So I love fading Trae Young under 33.5 combined points and assists. Boston gave up the fewest assists in the NBA this season. That, again, is by design. So this is a great spot to attack his combined points and assists here.
Educate and entertain, ladies and gentlemen. Knowledge is power. But Zachary writes, Coach loves unders. LOL. We all know that's not true. All right. Now, I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm going to do it. Only 62 likes for a show that is very, very big because you guys, we have been too easy on you. I have been too easy on you. So many of you are asking for a golf pick. Many of you wait for Sia's picks. So here's what's going to happen. If we don't get to 200 likes by the time AB is done, Sia's not going to give his pick out on the show today. I already have it. I already played it. So it doesn't matter to me. Does it matter to you? It will take you 5 seconds. If I don't get to 200, we're at 204. Look how fast that happens. Now, why do I have to do that? Why do I have to do that? Just hit the like button when you come into the show. That's all I ask you to do. We do all the heavy lifting. We do all the work. All you have to do is come to the show. AB. I don't think the rest of them caught that. AB. Now, I know yesterday was kind of rough, but the beautiful part about the Early Edge universe is that the very next day, you get to make a comeback. So let's go.
That's what I love, right? And the Early Edge crew always there having our backs. And let me say this. Already hit 200 likes. That was tough work right there. All right, so let me say this. We got 3 plays here. First, we're going Klay Thompson over 4.5 threes. We have seen him in 3 games in this series so far. Total, he's put up 34 attempts from 3. He's eclipsed this number in 2 of said 3 games. And you know what? Quite frankly, we haven't even had that classic Klay Thompson game. I think that one is today. Steph is very willing and able to allow Klay to put up those amount of shots. And for whatever reason, if there is an opportunity where Golden State is blowing out Sacramento late in the game and Steph sits, Klay will get even more. So we're going to ride that over 4.5. Next play, we're going to go to the NHL. All right, we're going to play Boston and Florida over 6. All right, it's game 4 in Florida. Boston leads this series 2-1. Florida understands it's now or never because game 5 is in Boston. And if they go down 1-3, buddy, you might as well not even go. This thing is over. So expect Florida to put up as many shots at the net. They're going to be throwing everything they can at the net today, which is going to allow Boston to do the exact same thing, what they are built to do. So we're going to take the over 6. We also get the push insurance at 6, which is nice as well. Lastly, Ronald Acuna, Atlanta Braves, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs against the Houston Astros. This dude's a hitting machine. He's just an absolute hitting machine. He's a doubles machine. If you like him in total bases, I get it. This dude racks up over and over and over. We're going to take him today, especially if we can get him on base with a hit early. Olsen behind him, Riley behind Olsen. Yeah, feeling good. So those are those 3. And, Coach,
yes,
Jake, if you could pull me back on the main screen here. Coach, would you like one nugget before I stop talking for the rest of the show?
There is nothing I would like more than a Chick-fil-A nugget on a Sunday.
Beautiful. All right, so on SportsLine.com last night, we played the over in the Maple Leafs and Lightning hockey game. We've played it 3 times, 6.5. We've hit it we've hit it 3 times, right? Here's the thing. Game 4, again, is in Tampa. Between these 2 teams, the last 8 times that they've played in Tampa, the over has hit 8 times. These 2 teams just put up goals constantly. So pay attention to that when you see the numbers out there. I mean,
8 out of 8. 8 out of 8. Again, do you want to do the work? No, but we don't ask you to do the work. Tyler said it best. Where's Tyler? He says, people that get upset about Coach saying hit the like button obviously don't understand how this works. Keep coaching, Coach. Well, here's how it works. If you guys hit the like button, then when you go to find the show, it becomes easier because we go higher. We're already very, very high. It's easy to find us, but we want to be number 1 all the time to make it easy on you. That's all I'm trying to do. So, Tyler, thank you very much. Now, I was just in New Orleans over the weekend. We know that. Do you know where I'm going wheels up tomorrow? Sia Nejad?
Ooh, is it back to South Florida?
Oh, but it is. I will be heading, well, sort of. I'm going to do the Mexico Open on the PGA Tour because, as I always say, the Early Edge family is everywhere. And I will lead the charge this week. But the Mexico Open will have a very special show on Tuesday right here, Early Wedge, 3 p.m. Eastern time. But we have some, I don't know, tickets to cash today. By the way, I like M and Mitchell over Clark and Hostler minus 145 if you're so inclined.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
Is the Mexico Open in America?
I didn't know Buckets was going to show up today, but alas, he has. I'm going to ignore that question. Sia Nejad, educate us on why today we won't see a minus 10, and also, who do you like today?
Well, I'll say this in case Sungjae and Mitchell don't beat Clark and Hostler. Shout out to Patrick McDonald from the early wedge because he was all in, and I mean all in, almost every single bet, including the outright market. He had Clark and Hostler. So there's a lot of people watching the early wedge. My outrights are probably not going to make it, but Patrick McDonald has that Clark Hostler ticket for everybody. So hopefully that one cashes. I've got a matchup. And by the way, it starts in 20 minutes, quite literally 20 minutes. At 10:50 a.m., you're going to have Aaron Rye and David Lipsky. They're minus 120 against Doc Redman and Sam Ryder. This is just one of those where an alternate shot, just like I did on Friday, which Friday, granted, it was a push, but I'm looking for the weak link here. I will say this, Redman and Ryder, an alternate shot on Friday, they were pretty good. I think the pin locations will be a little trickier here, though, and I think that's going to affect the weak link the most. The weak link here, in my opinion, is Doc Redman. Sam Ryder can really be up and down, but he's been pretty good lately. Aaron Rye is really coming on. David Lipsky also up and down, but again, I'm trying to target the weak link here, the guy in alternate shot that is going to make not the mistake, but several mistakes. I do think that's going to be Doc Redman in spite of good play so far. So give me Rye and Lipsky at minus 120 for round 4 of the Zurich Open. Zurich Classic.
To back up what you're talking about, yesterday in 4-ball, they only shot 2 under. They only shot 2 under yesterday. They did not hit the ball well yesterday. By the way, I was flying home yesterday. Do you know who was standing right in front of me in line at American Airlines in New Orleans? Max Homa.
Oh, wow.
Max Homa. He doesn't fly private. Didn't have his family with him this time, though. Has a new baby boy. Played with Colin Morikawa. I think he's the reason that I lost a showdown to Patrick McDonald this particular week. I think. I can't remember, but I think I lost a showdown. I'm going to have to pay that up today. But I did not tell him. I did not tell him that he cost me $100. Should I have told him, Sia? Should I say, hey, Max, by the way, I know it's 4 o'clock in the morning, but you cost me $100 yesterday.
Yeah, that happened to Bradley Beal at a Wizards game a few weeks back, and it didn't go very well. So I'm glad you didn't do that.
He's being sued by that fan, by the way.
So this is why, Coach, this is why I'm not an attorney anymore. If you want to know the truth, there are so many ridiculous lawsuits that they frustrate me as a professional in the industry, that especially in South Florida, and I'm just sorry for the tangent, in South Florida where there's just so many there's a lot of just lawsuits too. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of manufactured lawsuits as well. And it's that type of stuff that I think the lawsuit you're referencing that I think truly give lawyers a bad name. And I truly hate it. And I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore, if you want to know the truth.
Coach, yes. May I ask, all right, can we get a midweek show of just tort reform from Sia? That's what I want. Just tort reform, all of it. I want to break it down. And New Orleans, shout out Harris. Weather's always fine over at Craps Table number 3 down there.
It was packed. It was packed. We walked by it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Proppy, go.
Coach, may I approach the bench?
You may.
I rest my case.
Very, very well done. With all of that nonsense, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here's the recap, courtesy of the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. We're going M squared. And I'm telling you what, if you're not playing every one of his team totals, I don't know what to tell you. Most of the time, you only got to watch 4 or 5 innings, to be honest with you. Blue Jays team total over 4.5 minus 110. Proppy, we're going to the Hawks-Celtics game. Trae Young, we're fading him under 33.5 points and assists minus 105. And then Sia Nejad, 1 play. But I told you, I like M and Mitchell today as well, is where I'm leaning. Lipsky and Rye over Redman and Ryder. This was going to be a play for me anyway. I love this play. Then AB, 3 different plays. Klay Thompson over 4.5 threes. Bruins, Panthers over 6. He also gave you that lean in the Lightning. Ronald Acuna over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs minus 125. There's a lot of new people trying us out right now. This is kind of the off season for sports betting brands. So if you are brand new or you have a friend that you think may like the show, bring them. Tell them to use the promo code early. We'll give you 30 days for free. You can test this out. You can try us out during the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, everything, and then stay in as we get to the football season. And we are actively behind the scenes looking for new people. We're actively looking for new ideas. So if you have anything, please put them into the chat. You never know when we might do them. So with all that being said, I got to get to the club. It's time to hit with my son. So there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, M Squared, the counselor, 5-tool player, and Proppy. as well. Snake, can't forget about him, always doing the hard work. I'm simply the coach, trying to keep this train on the track. What do? We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about. Have a great day at the early edge.